Yes. So in today's class, we will be discussing about our block 2 about special contracts. So under special contracts in unit 4, we have indemnity and guarantee. So today we will be learning about these two contracts, that is contract of indemnity and contract of guarantee. Okay. Hamsika, Pavitra, Priyanka, and Sania. Right. Uh, are you all there in the class listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Priyanka,
Yes, good afternoon, ma'am.
and what about Pavitra and Sania?
Yes, ma'am, listening.
Okay, Sania said Pavitra. Okay, why I'm asking this? Because I should not be the only one speaking over here. You also should speak up if anything is not clear, you have any doubt. So keep asking things. When you ask question, you understand better, right? So just don't listen the class. Try to answer the things which I'm asking. Try to ask questions so that class will be more interactive and it will be, what do you say, interesting to learn things, right? So today we'll start with contract of indemnity. 1 minute, please. So in your examination, a long question will definitely come on contract of indemnity or contract of guarantee or both. So that is for sure. One long question is definitely gonna come on contract of indemnity and contract of guarantee. So listen properly. So a question may arise like explain contract of indemnity, discuss the right of indemnity holder and indemnifier. So in today's class, we will get to understand what is the meaning of contract of indemnity, what indemnity is, and we will also get to know about the rights of indemnity holder who holds the indemnity and the indemnifier who delivers the obligation, who delivers the indemnity, right? So first of all, contract of indemnity is from section 124 of Indian Contract Act, which says a contract by which one party promises to save the other from loss caused to him by the conduct of promisor, that is the indemnifier himself, or by conduct of any other person, is called contract of indemnity. So that is the definition of contract of indemnity. So I'll give you an example, read out an example. It would be easier for you to understand. Listen carefully, right? There is this person, Amit. Amit contracts with Rajesh that he will indemnify Rajesh against the consequences of proceeding which Rahul may take against Rajesh. If Rajesh has to pay rupees 20,000 as a consequence of any such proceeding, Amit will have to pay the amount because he has promised to indemnify Rajesh. So that is contract of indemnity. Over here, what is happening? Let me understand you, make it clear in simple language. Contract of indemnity is a contract by which one party, like one party is saying, basically it's like saving one party from the losses. It's like one party is making contract with other party, and it's like if the other party in future has to bear any losses or any you can say loss or any damages are there, so the first party will provide them with the, what do you say, the compensation of it. It will save the second party. So that is contract of indemnity. I'll read the contract again, it will be clear to you. A contract by which one party promises to save the other party from losses caused to him by the conduct of the promiser. Like, I am the promiser, I am the indemnifier, I am making a contract with you. If at all you will face any loss because of me, then I will pay you for that losses. That is called as contract of indemnity. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And the person over here who is promising will be known as indemnifier. Fine. It will be known as indemnifier. Right. Now, in contract of indemnities, there are basically two parties. Just now I told you who make promise, one who make promise, or one who deliver for the losses or the damages is known as indemnifier. 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 Whereas the other party who have the, you can say the is being protected will be known as indemnity holder, one who holds the indemnity. Fine. So there basically in contract of indemnity, how many parties are there? Two parties. The one is indemnifier, one who promises to bear the losses, pay for the losses, whereas indemnity holder, one who will, if in case had lost, will get paid for that losses. That is indemnity holder. So two parties are there in contract of indemnity. So the definition for indemnifier and indemnity holder will be the person who promises to protect another from a loss is called as indemnifier, whereas the person who is so protected is called indemnity holder. So these are the two parties of indemnity, contract of indemnity. Now, what are the so this contract of indemnity is like any other contract, like, and must be fulfill all the essential of a valid contract, like we have studied in the promissory. Pavitra, I have not discussed about promissory yet. I am talking about indemnifier as well as indemnity holder. Promissory is a term which may be used as indemnifier, one who made promises. Fine. Who has to pay for the losses, maybe promissory. But over here, we do not use the term promissory, we use the term indemnifier. Is it clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Huh, Pavitra, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Should I give an example and tell you again? Not clear? Okay, we'll proceed. Yeah. So a contract of indemnity is like any other contract. In the first class, we have studied about a valid contract and essential of a valid contract. So contract of indemnity, again, has to be a valid contract and it has to have all the essential elements of valid contract, which we have studied in first class. Like, what are the essentials of valid contract? What were the essentials? Basically, consideration was there, free consent was there, competency of party were there, lawful object was there. So all those elements has to be there in contract of indemnity, like a valid contract. It's, though it is a special contract, but all the essentials, all the element has to be there in valid contract, like a valid contract and contract of indemnity. So that is one feature of what do you say? Contract of indemnity. Now, let me give you an example. There is a person X that asks a person Y to burn the house of Z. This person asks this person to burn that person's house. And what this X person is saying, if you burn, saying to the second person, if you burn that person's house, I will compensate you for any of the losses if you bear. If you get jailed or if you get any fine, I will pay you for that. So is it a lawful act? Tell me, is it a lawful act?
No, ma'am.
Why is it not a lawful act? Because
It is
illegal activities are being involved. So though this person X is acting as an indemnifier and providing indemnity to Y, still the contract is not contract of indemnity because it is an illegal act is being involved. It is not lawful. So it is not fulfilling the criteria of a valid contract. It will not come under that. Okay. Now, next is, give me a moment, please. Now, the next feature of contract of indemnity is a contract of indemnity may be expressed or implied like a valid contract. We have discussed the same thing. A valid contract need to be expressed or implied. That means it should be orally, or it should be oral or written somewhere. Is expressed one, or implied is it has to be there, right? Should I explain the meaning of expressed and implied one more time? Those who have not attended the first class, or should I proceed? Yes. Should I explain about it or should I move? No reply, then I will move on. So a contract of indemnity may be expressed or implied. That means it may be oral or written, or it may be implied. That is very obvious. So an express contract may be a mouth of word or written. Whereas on the other hand, an implied contract is apparent from the circumstances of the case. That is, for example, an act done by A at the instance of B. Like A is provoking to do something, like he's provoking a person B to do something. That is contract of that is implied contract, apparent apparent implied contract. Okay. So that is one feature of it. Now, the next heading under contract of indemnity is rights of indemnity holder. Give the heading rights of indemnity holder. What rights does indemnity holder have? Right. Who is the indemnity holder? Tell me, who is the indemnity holder? Anyone?
The person who is protected against any loss.
Who is being protected against any losses is indemnity holder. So here we will study about the rights. What right does he hold? So basically in section 125, it states that the right of an indemnity holder in a contract of indemnity, it's like an indemnity holder can recover from the indemnifier. Whoever is acting as the indemnifier, the indemnity holder can recover from that person. So under this heading, the first one is all damages which he may be compelled to pay under the contract in any suit. So all the damages जो भी mention है उसमें damages has to be recovered. So this is the very first right. It should not be like I have mentioned that I will pay 10% if you bear the losses of it, or I will pay 50,000 and I am at the time of paying, I'm the indemnifier. At the time of paying, I am just paying half of the amount, or just 50 or 60% of it. It should not be like that. Whatever I am promising, like I will pay 50,000 if you bear any losses, so I have to pay the whole of the amount. That amount should not be negotiated afterwards. So that is the very first right which indemnity holder have. The first one. Second one is all cost he may be compelled to pay in any such suit. Obviously, the damages should be paid, and all the costs which come in between paying the losses, that should be bared by indemnifier. That is the right which that is the right of indemnity holder. That means he may ask, or sorry, he will ask the indemnifier to pay all the losses, all the things, all the price incurred in paying the losses, right? So that is the second right. Next one is all sum which he may have paid under terms of any compromise of any such suit, provided such compromise is not contrary to the orders of promisor and was one which it would have been prudent of the indemnity holder to make. An indemnity holder shall be entitled to all these rights provided he act with the scope of his authority. So all the rights has to be mentioned in the contract of indemnity. Then only the indemnity holder will be like you can say take benefits of his right. If things are not being mentioned and indemnity holder is saying no, you have promised me so and so amount, but I had major losses or I have more losses than mentioned, you have to pay more amount. No, that will that is not, again, that is not a very lawful thing to ask that. The thing which indemnifier will pay only which the things which are mentioned in the contract. Other than that, nothing will be paid by indemnifier. Okay. So these are the rights of indemnity holder. Next one is right of indemnity. Previously, we have learned about rights of indemnity holder. Now we will see the rights of indemnifier. Though indemnifier is like making promise that the other party, if the other party will face losses, I will pay for the I will pay for the losses. I will pay the amount incurred in the losses. All those things he is promising. Still, then in the law of court, there are certain circumstances where he holds rights of himself for being an indemnifier. Let's see what those rights are. These rights of indemnifier comes under section 141. And various law of courts have also given the verdict for the rights of indemnifier as well. So we'll see one by one what are those rights. The first one is an indemnifier, after he has paid the damages under an indemnity, regain the right that he has delegated to the indemnified, but he gets these right only after he has paid the damages and not before. It's like when the losses are there, and indemnifier has to pay for the losses, and indemnifier have already paid for the losses. So whatever rights he was having previously before the losses, he will regain all those rights according to the law of contract of indemnity. It's not like once I have losses are being there, and once indemnifier made the payment for the losses, then all of his rights has gone. No, once he made the promises, then he is capable, he will regain all the rights he was holding before the losses. So that is the first right of indemnifier. Next one is, if the indemnifier has indemnified the indemnity holder, he gets the right to sue third party on behalf of the indemnifier. If the indemnifier has... So if the indemnifier has indemnified the indemnity holder, he has paid for the losses, then in that case, he gets the right to sue the third party on behalf of the losses. It's like, किसकी वजह से लॉस हुआ. Obviously, when I am making process, I am indemnifier, I am saying I will bear the losses. Will I be the person because of whom loss will occur? Definitely not. There will be some, in most cases, there will be some third party over there. Because of that third party, Though in contract of indemnity, there is no third party, but because of that third party, losses have occurred. So in this case, after paying the indemnity holder, the indemnifier has the right to sue that third party because of that losses has occurred to the indemnity holder. So after paying for the losses, he hold the right to sue the third party for the losses, and can you can say get back the money, the losses for which he has spent. Yes, Pavitra, what is the question, ma'am? What is the difference between individual contract? Pavitra, I do not know from where you are asking these questions, my dear. Pavitra?
Ma'am, textbook level.
Textbook only? Okay, let me
Yes,
complete this. What I am trying to convey.
Is there in the textbook?
Let me complete this. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Have you completed contract of indemnity? Have you read that?
Yes, ma'am.
You are clear with the things?
Some doubt, madam.
Some doubts. You asked me your doubts regarding contract of indemnity. Right now, we will discuss that, and your doubts I'll clear after I complete this. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, great. So these were the rights of indemnifier. Give me a moment, please. So now the next one, third right is, if the indemnified suffered any damages which are not covered by the contract of indemnity, the indemnifier is not bound to pay any such damages. Like previously, the same right which indemnity holder was having, the same right indemnifier also hold. The things which are not mentioned in the contract of indemnity and the losses which are not incurred, not happened, and is not under the you can say under the contract, the indemnifier is not bound to pay for those losses. So this is one right he has. Next, fourth one, the indemnifier is entitled to sue third party only to extend the damages he has paid to indemnified. Yeah, very important point. What I have told you in previous point, the indemnifier can sue the third party because of that third party losses have incurred, right? The indemnifier can sue the third party, but provided he can only sue the third party for the damages only, the amount which he has paid, that for that only he can sue the third party. Other than that, he cannot sue the other party and recover the damages if whatever he has not paid for it. So these are the four rights which indemnifier holds, right? I hope contract of indemnity is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, yeah, contract of indemnity. Next topic which we gonna cover is contract of guarantee. Give the heading contract of guarantee. As I have told you, from this unit, a question definitely is going to come on contract of indemnity and contract of guarantee, or both. A long question may come on both, as well as one might come as a long answer. So prepare well from this unit, right? Now a question like, what is contract of guarantee may be asked, as well as what are its characteristics, distinguish between contract of guarantee and contract of indemnity. Like I said, both of them can come also. You have to distinguish, make differences between contract of guarantee and contract of indemnity. So for this purpose, you have to read both of them, contract of indemnity as well as guarantee. You have to read both of them. You are not supposed to leave these two topics. Very important, right? So let's deal with contract of guarantee. Give me a moment, please. Okay. So contract of guarantee comes under section 126 of Indian Contract Act. Do not forget to mention the sections. You have to learn all the sections. जितने भी contract law of contract में आपने जो कुछ भी पढ़ा है unit 1 में, unit 2 में, do mention sections as well for them. So this is section 126 of Indian Contract Act, contract of guarantee. Basically, contract of guarantee is a contract to perform the promise or discharge the liability of a third person in case of his default. It's like I'm saying, sorry, I'll give an example, not I'm saying. A requests B to give 50,000 to C. A person has requested person B to give 50,000 rupees to C person. And guarantee, and also this A person is giving guarantee that if C will repay the amount within an year, that C will pay the amount back within a year. So to B, C will pay back to B. And if in a case B is not paying to C, A will pay on his behalf. So that is called as guarantee, right? I'll read out the example again. It will be clear. A requests B to give rupees 50,000 to C and guarantees that C will repay the amount within a year. Like C will return back the money within a year. And if C does not, A himself will pay the amount to B. This contract will be a contract of guarantee, right? So as you can see, like contract of indemnity and contract of guarantee, there is one major difference. The major difference over here is losses are not there. It's just a guarantee thing. If the person is not paying, I will pay back. There are no losses mentioned in contract of guarantee. And one major difference between these two laws are, in contract of indemnity, two parties were there, indemnifier and indemnity holder, whereas in contract of guarantee, there are three parties. Okay. So that is the major difference between the two contracts. Now, coming to these three parties, who are these three parties? The two parties are of contract of indemnity were indemnifier and indemnity holder, whereas parties in contract of guarantee are surety, principal debtor, and creditor. These are the three parties in contract of guarantee. One is surety, that means who make the promise, who makes the guarantee. Number two, principal debtor. Principal debtor is the person who is liable to pay. That is principal debtor. And the creditor. Creditor is the person to which this guarantee is being made for. Okay. So these are the three parties of contract of indemnity: surety, principal debtor, and creditor. So all three. So the first one, surety. The person who gives the guarantee is called surety. The person in respect whose default the guarantee is given is called principal debtor, whereas the person to whom the guarantee is given is called the creditor. Right? These are the three parties of contract of guarantee. Now coming to the next heading, that is characteristics, or you can say essential elements of contract of guarantee. Again, this comes under section 126 only. Let's see what are the characteristics and essential of it. Number one, a contract of guarantee can only be between at least three parties. So there has to be three parties. Three parties are must for any contract of guarantee. There, it's not like it will be two-party contract. It will be, if there are two parties, it will be called contract of indemnity. It will move around contract of indemnity only. It will not be contract of guarantee. So for contract of guarantee, three parties, surety, principal debtor, and creditor has to be there. That is one essential part of this contract. Next one is free consent of all the parties is essential. Similarly, like it said, for contract of indemnity, it has to be a valid contract, and for valid contract, it has to have free consent. Free consent ka matlab, all parties should agree on their roles, whatever they have. Maybe they are surety, principal debtor, or creditor, whatever role they are playing in a contract, they should give free consent to it. That means they should agree for each and every terms mentioned in the contract. That is free consent of all parties. Next one is a contract of guarantee requires complete disclosure of all the material fact by the principal debtor or the creditor. Yeah, sorry for the disturbance. So the next one is
Stop.
I'm trying. Yeah, sorry for the disturbance. The next one is a contract of guarantee can be written or oral. It cannot be implied contract. Though we have studied time and again about contract has to be expressed or implied, but in the case of guarantee, contract has to be written or oral. It is not implied. It is not like it is obvious that I am guaranteeing certain things. For contract of guarantee, I have to make promise either orally or in writing. I have to tell to the other party that I am giving this guarantee. It is not implied. It's not like any bounding on me. It's like I am agreeing, yes, I will do this. So that is one feature of contract of guarantee. Next one is the surety obligation arises only when the principal debtor makes a default in the performance of his obligation. Like if I am saying on behalf of so and so person, I will pay if he is not paying. I will pay only if he is not paying. I am not liable to pay anytime. It's like when he will not pay, his time period is over to make the payment or to deliver the obligation, then only I am liable to pay. That means then only surety will pay. When principal debtor fails to pay, fails to make the payment, fails to deliver the obligation, then in that case only surety will come forward and pay for the losses or complete the obligation. It's like that. Next one is the primary liability in the contract of guarantee is that of principal debtor. The liability of the surety is secondary. Very obvious. If I am making contract and I am the principal debtor, I am the person for whom surety guarantee is being given. So I am the primary person for, I have the primary liability to pay. The person who is giving surety hold the secondary liability. I am the person for whom surety has been given. So I will be holding primary liability, whereas the surety will hold the secondary liability to pay for the, in case the surety is not paying. Okay. So that is one feature of it. Next is, now, next one is, till such time as the obligation of principal debtor does not arise, the surety is free from his obligation. Again, the same thing, again and again they say the same thing. Unless principal debtor does not obligation, till the time as the obligation of principal debtor does not arise, the surety is free from the obligation. Surety को कोई obligation नहीं है until the time comes to pay on behalf of principal debtor. So that is the next feature. Next is, when a person gives guarantee upon contract that the creditor shall,
उसने आपकी कॉल को होल्ड पर रखा है.
shall I take the attendance? Give me a moment, please. Thank you.
మీరు మాట్లాడుతున్న వ్యక్తి మీ కాల్ ను హోల్డ్ లో ఉంచారు. దయచేసి లైన్ లో వేచి.
I don't know why such kind of disturbance are arising again and again. So these were the essentials of contract of guarantee. Now next, what is there? Let me move my slide. What is? Okay, considerations of guarantee contract. Contract of guarantee की considerations पढ़ेंगे. This comes under section 127. What are the considerations? We'll see. Anything done or promise made for the benefit principal debtor may be sufficient consideration to the surety for giving guarantee. Sometimes what happens, when one person gives surety that principal debtor, if he is not paying, the surety will pay, and to the third party. So what happened? They make a sufficient consideration. It's like, okay, I will pay or I will fulfill the obligation, but for a sufficient amount only, or for a partial amount only. Okay, completely I will not pay. It's so it's like on terms of contract only, they will mention ki, yes, if that person is not paying or that person is not fulfilling, if that case arises, I will pay, but I will pay only this much only, or I will deliver only this obligation. Complete obligation or complete payment I will not make. I will pay for certain amount or sufficient consideration I'll make for that only. So that is one consideration of contract of guarantee. Right? Next one is, so why? What is the reason behind this consideration? The basic reason behind this consideration is the person who is holding the surety or holding the who is the creditor over here, he should not bear the losses. I mean, some lump sum amount or lump sum things should be delivered to him. So that is the main point behind giving this consideration under contract of guarantee. Right? It's if it becomes like if I have to pay the whole of the amount, the whole of the obligation, it will become contract of indemnity, where whole of the thing has to be delivered. Whereas this consideration was not there in contract of indemnity, where whole of the thing has to be delivered. This consideration is only there in contract of guarantee. It may be full amount or the full thing or the full obligation, whereas it could be partial as well. Okay. So that is again one difference between the two. Next is, next one is purpose of contract of guarantee. Why we make this contract of guarantee? What is the main reason behind contract of guarantee? The very first reason is for the security of a loan given to a party. That means there will be secured, it will be secured, the whatever the amount which is being paid as a loan, that will remain secure. Fine, that party will remain secure. Next one is for the assurance of good conduct, honesty of an employee in service contract. Yes, we do have this contract of guarantee in jobs as well. So why, what is the reason we make such kind of contracts of guarantee? So as we have this assurance of good conduct, that people will behave properly, they will behave honestly, they will be on in good terms only. So that is the reason we make contract of guarantee. Next one is for the indemnity of third party from loss resulting from non-paying of debts. So these are the purpose of contract of guarantee. I believe contract of guarantee and contract of indemnity is clear to you all by now. Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Answered slowly. Yes, ma'am. Okay. When contract, again and again, I'm telling you the same thing, but don't miss this topic, these two topics, contract of indemnity and guarantee, both of them. Read properly from your textbooks, right? And after reading, ask me questions, right? When you are done reading, then only ask me question, what is what. Now, again, a very important question might come, like tell or to mention the differences between contract of indemnity and contract of guarantee. As you people have told me that you have understood contract of indemnity and guarantee, I asked you to tell me at least 2 to 3 differences between the two. You can unmute or you can tell me in the chat box. Anyone can answer.
Number of parties.
Number of parties. So how many parties does indemnity holder have?
2 parties.
2 parties. Who are they?
Indemnifier and indemnity holder.
Okay, thank you, Khadija. Next one. Tell me about contract of guarantee. How many parties are there and what are the names?
There are 3 parties, ma'am.
Surety, debtor, creditor.
Creditor.
Yeah, Sudhir, tell.
Surety, debtor, and creditor, ma'am.
Repeat.
3 parties, ma'am. Surety, debtor, and creditor.
Surety, the principal debtor and the creditor.
Yes, ma'am.
Not the debtor, it's the principal debtor. Is
Okay, ma'am.
the main person for whom the surety is being given. So it is called as the, don't, miss the exact term. Fine?
Okay, ma'am.
So it is the principal debtor.
Principal debtor and the creditor.
And the surety, these two differences. differences. Fine. Acha, what is the main purpose of, tell me the difference between the two. What is the main purpose between the two? Purpose of contract of indemnity and guarantee. What is the main purpose of it? Function. Tell me.
In contract of indemnity, it is make to promising to make good and loss to the indemnity holder. And in contract of guarantee, it is for security of the debt or good conduct of an employee.
Kindly repeat.
In contract of indemnity, it is to make good the loss, the indemnifier promising to make good and loss to the indemnity holder. And in contract of guarantee is for the security of a debt of an employee.
Who is the employee here? Kindly use the exact terms. Don't use the terms like employee and company, right?
Creditor, ma'am.
Yeah, correct, creditor. Don't use terms like, don't use, because this subject, the subject is easy only, just very few things are there which you need to learn and to understand. That's it. Otherwise, the subject is very easy, and do not use some other terms for them. Use the exact term which are being allotted to them. Okay, so these are the two differences. Now comes the object. I'll tell you the object, the difference between the object of the two. So under contract of indemnity, its object is basically, its purpose is the safety from uncertain future event. Like in indemnity, what is happening? A person is saying, if losses will incur, we will pay you, or I will pay you if losses will incur. That means for any future event, if it may happen, then only I will pay you. Whereas in contract of guarantee, it's not like in contract of guarantee, the purpose is to assure the other party perform an obligation. It's like in contract of indemnity, they are promising if you bear the losses, we will pay you. Whereas in contract of guarantee, the purpose is to assure the other party performs their obligation. So that is the difference between the objectives of the two. Fine. That was the third difference. Okay. What could be the next difference? I have not discussed about it. I'll tell you. That is number of contracts. So number of contracts under contract of indemnity. How many contracts are there under contract of indemnity? Only one contract. One contract between indemnifier and indemnity holder. That's it. There is just one contract. Whereas in contract of guarantee, there are three contracts. There are how many contracts? Three contracts between principal debtor and the creditor and the surety, and an implied contract between principal debtor and surety. So these are the three contracts between these people. As I have told you, there has to be a free consent. Free consent will come when these will have contract between themselves. Then there will be free consent, right? So there will be three contracts under contract of guarantee between principal debtor and creditor, between creditor and surety, as well as contract between principal debtor and the surety. Clear? So fourth difference could be number of contract. Fine. Last difference could be scope. Scope is under contract of indemnity. Scope is limited and does not include contract of guarantee. Yes, very interesting one. Contract of guarantee includes contract of indemnity, whereas contract of indemnity does not include contract of guarantee. Directly or indirectly, contract of guarantee includes contract of indemnity, whereas contract of indemnity does not include contract of guarantee. Clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Wait. Now, about liability. Liability, I have told you, as there are only two parties under contract of indemnity, liability of indemnifier is primary. So indemnifier holds the primary liability. Whereas in contract of guarantee, liability of surety is secondary. That is, it arises only in case of default of principal debtor. So the primary liability is of principal debtor only, whereas secondary liability is of surety, which we have discussed, right? So the next point would be liability, about liability. Let me see what else is there. Khatija, after the classes, I will send my PPT. I'll mail my PPT. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so I believe we are done with the topics. Sufficient enough for your indemnity and guarantee. Your homework for today is you have to read indemnity and guarantee. You all, I believe you all have books or ebooks with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Everybody? I believe there were few students who were telling me they have not collected, they do not have. Who are they? Pavitra, you have?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So those who do not have can have. Your classmates are having e-books with them. You can contact them on WhatsApp if you have group and get your e-books with you and start reading. Yeah. So I was telling you that. Yeah. So please read indemnity and guarantee, the whole of the unit, the whole unit. That is indemnity and guarantee. And whatever I have taught you today is sufficient for a long answer for your examination, I believe. So other than that, don't miss. Why I'm saying read the whole unit, because each and every topic is important. But whatever I have taught you today, that is sufficient for a long answer, but not sufficient for your objectives. You have to read each and everything, right? Clear? So don't miss any topic. Don't miss any topic. Read whole of the second unit under Unit 4, Indemnity and Guarantee for today's homework, please. Okay. If anything is not clear, please ask me. Okay. So for tomorrow, we will proceed with law of bailment and pledge, as well as I'll try to start sales of good act as well. So you can also, yes, there was one question, right? Who has asked me? Pavitra. Ma'am, what is the difference between individual contract and self?
Self-contract.
Where have you read this?
Textbook, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Which page? Tell me. Individual contract.
1 minute, ma'am.
Yes. Pavitra? Pavitra? Hello. I'm asking the page number, Vijay. Tell me the page number. Are you there in the class? She's there. Individual. I'm unable to find these two terms in your book, the book provided by your university. Self-contract and individual contract. Can you see these two, all of you, can you see these two topic in your syllabus? Self-contract and individual contract? I cannot see this. Maybe you are referring to, Pavitra, can you hear me? Are you there?
Hello.
Hello, yes. Okay. She's gone. Chalo, anyways, when she'll come back, we'll discuss.
Ma'am, she left.
She left. Okay. So, do
Yes.
you know these two topics?
No, ma'am, I didn't. I too did not found, ma'am.
That's what I was wondering. What are these? Maybe she is referring to some other textbook. That's why she is asking.
Might be, ma'am.
Yeah, I'll ask her tomorrow. Maybe. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So that's all for today. Please complete your homework. Very important,
ma'am.
because the syllabus is very vast. You cannot mug it in 1 or 2 days for your examination. You have to read at least a week for this. So try
Okay, ma'am.
reading. When do you people have examination?
Ma'am, till now, no date has released, ma'am. No
No
idea about
dates? Any tentative month?
it. Maybe in the next month, last week, ma'am. I guess.
Okay. So start reading the.
Okay, ma'am.
I mean, you cannot mug this subject in 1 day. Though it is theoretical, but you have to memorize the section. You have to memorize the clauses in
Ma'am,
it.
we have to remember those all sections.
See, like in unit 2, for example, you have to remember just 2 sections for law,
Okay.
contract of indemnity, contract of guarantee. So
Okay,
it's
ma'am.
easier. And when you study stepwise, now the sections will come stepwise. So that will be easier, one by one, one by one. You just have to remember one section and others will come simultaneously.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
It will be easier. So the point is you have to read. Why I'm saying read again, read again. The point is when you read, you will memorize. At the time जब आप लिखोगे एग्जाम में तो आपको अपने आप याद आ जाएगा, हाँ इसके बाद ये सेक्शन था, I have to write this. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So anybody want to say anything? Or shall we leave for today? We'll meet tomorrow. Okay then. Take care all. Have a great day. Complete your homework. Bye-bye.
Done, ma'am. Thank you. No. seen this question.